Hi, everyone. I am Kelly, and this is my colleague and friend Renee, and we are
Hello.
both licensed counselors and moms here in Florida. Today, we wanted to answer a question that we actually get a lot, and um, I probably get it more than Renee does because I only do online therapy and Renee does online and in person. But now during COVID-19, we're all doing online therapy. So the question that we have today is from somebody. They emailed us and they said that they wanted to know about online therapy. Is it better or is it worse than in person? And so this person, they think that maybe in person therapy might be better for them, but they've never tried on. So that's one thing we wanted to talk about today, the pros and the cons of online therapy compared to in-person therapy. So what are your first thoughts, Renee? Because you do both. You offer both to your clients.
I do. And I have had a little bit of apprehension, but everybody was like, all right, Renee, we can do this. We'll try this. And there was some stumbling blocks, let me tell you, going through. But, you know, with a little bit of help, they did just fine setting it up. I sent the stuff and they're like, okay, I don't see the meeting ID. And so then it's helpful for us to know as counselors, hey, just so you know, it's going to be at the top of that email. And then you just need to copy it. And that way, when you open up the link, you can just paste it in and it'll join you directly. That way, it's really not that hard, but also knowing, like, I take a screenshot of what the app looks like so that they know exactly what app they're going to find whatever function you're using to get there, whatever software. So whether it be an app, a Zoom, a Simple Practice, DoxyMe, you name it, any of the ones that are out there. A lot of them are pretty easy to get to. But Simple Practice is the one I use along with Zoom and DoxyMe, but Simple Practice will provide you with the HIPAA forms and the consent, because you have to consent to doing video conferencing. And that way you know that you're in a safe space and that although we can't provide protection on your end, you have to be in a place that you're good and comfortable with doing counseling, but that we will be in a safe space on our end and to make sure that your privacy is protected and that the video conferencing is encrypted by them. And we make sure on our end that as professionals that we're doing everything we need to do to protect you. So making it as easy as possible with the links and having doing these things ahead of time. And I will simply pick up a phone and call some of my clients if they're having a little bit of struggle and walk them through it over the phone. And then they join me in the video and it's gone pretty smoothly for the most part.
And I think, especially having that flexibility where,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to drive across town and through traffic. You're just right there. You're right there at your home or in your car or in your office. You can find the private space that you really feel comfortable in. I think that's what my clients really like the best about it is that they get to choose wherever they are. So if they want to talk to me when they're cuddled up on their couch, that's
Yep.
okay. So, if you want to go outside to your backyard and your garden and talk to me from there, that's great too. It's what
Yep.
works best for you.
Yeah.
That's,
I've had I had clients call from the car.
yep.
Hey, I just want to make sure it was quiet. And so they called from the car. And that's not a problem either. They were parked. It wasn't like they were going through, traffic or anything like that. They weren't driving. We do not
Right.
recommend that. However, being parked in your car is fine too. And, really just like I did have a client that was cuddled up with, a teddy bear from when they were younger. And that's okay too. I got to see one of my clients' bedrooms because it's a little kid. And, you know, it gives us that unique perspective on what their life is like. And you can really see them in their environments. And I can tell you it was also a little bit easier to get through some of the anxiety type stuff that they're going through because they were in their own natural comfort environment. So it was a
Exactly.
little easier to open up.
So then like the things that, you normally might not want to talk about, you might feel more comfortable talking about in your
Yeah.
own space. I say
Yep.
probably, especially because Renee, you see kids too. So I probably would imagine it might be a little bit easier for kids to open up, on the floor of their bedroom and talking
Playing
to a
with their toys.
playing with their toys. Yeah, their own toys. So,
Yeah.
um, and the other thing that I really like about offering online counseling is that because it's online, um, many counselors can offer greater flexibility for your time.
Yes.
And so, like for me, when I'm scheduling something, most people want to schedule it in the middle of the day when I'm working or when I have my kid, and I'm like, that's just not going to work. This I mean, I just know I'm not going to be able to go. Like, I just know
Right.
it. So, having that after hours availability, and because it's online, I'm not having to drive too. So I can see clients even later, which makes it easier for them. So, put the kids to bed and
Yep.
then, okay.
And I had somebody do that yesterday.
Yeah. And then you don't have to leave the house. You're
Nope.
still right there. You don't have to hire a babysitter, which makes it even nicer. So, and then you're in your comfort zone, so you can go automatically from your counseling session to doing some self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so taking that, a nice bubble bath, or listening to a calming app, you can go straight to that.
Yeah.
It's a lot more convenient. So,
Well, and I think it takes the stressors out. I think sometimes people are too afraid to get too upset
exactly.
or and have to drive home or go out in public afterwards. And I've had that come up, a couple times in the last week that we've been doing this. And I just think that it's been really helpful for people to be able to be in their own comfort zones and to not have anywhere they have to be. Like you said, it adds that extra element that we don't always get because sometimes I've had some clients that are newer and still haven't um, gotten through all those really hard memories and things. And I think that maybe like they jump in now because they know they don't have to drive anywhere. So if they're crying and they're upset about something that happened to them, that it's easier to deal with because they don't have to be seen by people leaving my office. They don't have to be seen driving to the car. Now, I work in a smaller building, so a lot of the times on the weekends it's quiet. Nobody really sees them coming and going. But
You are,
the
you are concerned about, especially if you have a more visible position
mm-hmm,
in the community, you might not want people to see you pulling up to a
yeah,
therapist office or talking to a counselor. And we totally understand that. You might not want to tell your spouse that you're seeing a counselor, or might not want to tell
yeah,
your family. It might just be something just for you.
yep,
And so having that option to, you know, you know, bring counseling to where you're at could be a lot easier
yes.
for people.
Well, and on those subjects too, that's why I don't, I know you don't either, but we don't require people to be in their homes. Like you can go out in your garden, like you said earlier, you can go to your car, you can go sit at the Panera. You sit at the Panera and just know that you're airing all your information in front of everyone. And I can't
Yeah.
do
One thing,
anything about that, but
one
so
thing
just
clients really like is that, especially if you work or travel a lot, okay? So with online therapy, I can still see you. So
yes,
if you want to go and take a little mini vacation, for a week or two, you
Mm-hmm.
can set up your computer or your phone right there and we can still meet.
Yep,
Okay. So it just makes it a lot more convenient.
it really does. And for the client and for us. And I think that it helps the therapeutic relationship a lot too, because we get the ability to continue that work with them even when they're gone. And I know that I had a client that went back to Louisiana, and that's where his family is, and they're very hard for him. And I do have his permission to bring even that up, but that, that was very beneficial for him to be able to have a session while he was there. Yeah, he was in his hotel room because he doesn't stay with his family, but you know, that gave him that ability to really work and have the therapy when he needed it. So
Exactly.
I think it's got its benefits and rewards by all means. And I think that people are starting to realize just how helpful this can really be for them, that it doesn't have to be as big and scary as it looks and kind of seems from the outside.
It's about doing what's best for you and finding what works, to help you get to where you want to be. And that's what's most important. So, Renee, do you have any other thoughts before we close this out?
Not really. I think that, we're both here to help, and it is a safe and secure environment, just so you know, and it's not going to be hacked or any of those things. So you will be safe to talk about the things that are going on in your life, and you reach out. Kelly and I are here to help in any way, shape, or form we can. Um,
Would
so,
love to talk. So just send us an email and we'll get back to you. Okay.
yep. And if you have any other questions, please do send them in. We are glad to answer them. That is what this is all about.
Y'all
You
take
guys
care.
have a good week.
Bye.